How many people do you think get seriously injured in the shower every year, doing things that feel completely normal? Not from freak accidents, not from crazy behavior, from everyday shower habits, routine moves people over 60 do on autopilot without thinking twice. That's what makes the shower so dangerous. It looks harmless. It feels private. And when something goes wrong, it usually goes wrong fast on wet surfaces, in a tight space with hard edges everywhere and no time to recover. Today, we're counting down the 5 deadliest shower habits many 60-plus people do daily. For each one, I'll show you the exact moment it turns dangerous, the chain of mistakes that makes it worse, and the one survival rule that can break that chain before it becomes a life-changing injury. Let's begin. Number 5. Turning the water too hot and staying in long enough for your body to turn against you. This one feels like comfort. You step into the shower, the water hits, and for a moment it feels incredible, especially if your joints are stiff, your back is tight, or the morning started cold. So you do what a lot of people do. You turn the water a little hotter, then a little hotter, and you stay in a little longer because it feels good. That's the habit, not showering, not relaxing, using very hot water and staying in it long enough that your body starts paying a price before you realize anything is wrong. Here's why this becomes dangerous after 60. Hot water opens blood vessels. That's how your body releases heat. It sounds harmless, but it can lower blood pressure while you're standing there in steam, especially if you're dehydrated, haven't eaten, are on blood pressure medication, or you got in the shower already feeling a little off. Most people don't notice the shift while they're standing still. They notice it when they move. And that's when the shower turns into a trap. You reach for soap, you bend to pick something up, you turn to rinse your leg, you tilt your head back, you take one step toward the edge. Then your body throws a warning, a wave of dizziness, vision tightening, ears ringing, sudden weakness in the legs, that strange hollow feeling in your stomach like the floor just dropped half an inch. It doesn't feel dramatic, it feels brief, and that's exactly why people ignore it. They think, I'm okay, just a little lightheaded. Pause on that thought, because this is where the chain usually gets worse. Instead of stopping, people try to finish. One more rinse, one more reach, one more step. But when heat and blood pressure changes are already affecting you, your balance can disappear faster than your pride can catch up. And in a shower, there is no soft landing. There's wet tile, glass, metal fixtures, hard tub edges, corners, a small space that gives you just enough room to fall badly. Emergency responders and caregivers see this pattern all the time. The person didn't slip first, they got weak or dizzy first, and then the fall happened. And even if you don't fully faint, the near faint can still cause the same damage. People scramble. They grab the shower curtain, they grab a soap tray, they grab anything except the one thing designed to hold body weight. Their foot slides while they're twisting, and now it's a hip, shoulder, wrist, or head injury. There's another danger people underestimate: burns. Very hot shower water doesn't just make you dizzy. It can irritate fragile skin, worsen dryness, and in some homes, especially where water temperature runs high, it can cause scalding faster than people expect, particularly if movement is slower or balance is already off and you can't step away quickly. So the survival rule for number 5 is simple. Stop treating hotter like better. Warm is fine. Very hot is the problem. If you ever feel dizzy, weak, sweaty, or off in the shower, don't try to power through it. Stop moving. Brace yourself. Lower yourself safely if you can. Sit down if there's a shower seat, or get low immediately to reduce the distance of a fall. And if this happens more than once, don't shrug it off as just age. Repeated shower dizziness is a pattern worth taking seriously. The smarter habit is to keep the water comfortably warm, not extreme, and keep showers shorter if heat tends to make you lightheaded. Let comfort help your body, not ambush it. Because the deadliest shower habits don't feel dangerous at the start, they feel soothing, right up until your legs stop agreeing with your plan. And number 4 is worse in a different way because it isn't about heat at all. It's about the one thing people trust to keep them safe right before it fails under their weight. Number 4, using a towel rack or shower fixture as a grab bar and falling when it fails. This one happens because people improvise. They know the shower can be slippery. They know balance can go off for a second. So without even thinking, they start using whatever is nearby as support. A towel rack, a soap dish, the edge of a glass door, the shower handle, the curtain rod. Something that looks solid enough to help just for a second, and that's the trap. It looks like support. It feels like support. It is not support. Real grab bars are built and anchored to hold body weight. Most bathroom fixtures are not. They're made to hold towels, soap, or light force, not the full weight of a person who is suddenly slipping, panicking, and pulling hard in the opposite direction. That difference matters in exactly one moment, the moment your body needs help now. Picture how it usually happens. The floor is wet. Maybe there's soap underfoot. Maybe you turn too fast. Maybe your foot slides just enough to scare you. You don't even think you reach. Your hand catches the towel rack, and for half a second it feels like you saved it. Then the screws pull. The bracket twists. The fixture tears out of the wall or shifts just enough that your grip disappears, and the thing you trusted to stop the fall becomes part of the fall. That is why this habit is so dangerous. It doesn't just fail to protect you, it can make the crash worse. Now you're falling with extra momentum because your body was moving one way while your arm was pulling another. Your shoulder gets yanked. Your balance goes from near miss to full collapse. You may come down sideways into the tub edge, backward onto tile, or forward into a faucet or glass door. And because it happens fast, your head often arrives before your hands do. Caregivers and emergency responders see this exact pattern over and over. They grabbed something in the bathroom and it gave way. And after 60, that gave way. Moment can change everything. A shoulder injury from the yank, a wrist fracture from the landing, a hip fracture from a sideways hit, a head injury that looks minor at first but becomes serious later. Sometimes the fixture itself becomes a hazard too. Metal edges, broken pieces, sharp hardware where your hand or arm lands. The cruel part is that this habit feels smart. It feels cautious. People are trying to prevent a fall. They're just trusting the wrong object. And bathrooms train that habit because the wrong objects are exactly where your hand naturally goes. The towel rack is right there. The shower fixture is right there. The glass edge is right there. In a panic, people reach for what is closest, not what is safe. So the survival rule for number 4 is simple, but it has to be decided before the slip happens. If it isn't a real grab bar, don't use it like one. Train your hands to go to stable surfaces, only proper grab bars, a securely mounted support, or the floor if you need to lower yourself on purpose. And if your bathroom doesn't have actual grab bars where slips are most likely, that's not a small upgrade anymore. That is safety equipment, not convenience. There's also a mindset rule here that prevents a lot of injuries. When you feel a slip starting, don't panic, reach high for anything solid looking. Try to lower your center of gravity instead. Bend your knees. Get closer to the floor. A controlled drop can save you from a violent fall caused by a failed grab. Because the deadliest shower habits aren't always about what people do wrong on purpose. Sometimes it's the thing they do to protect themselves. That fails at the worst possible second. And number 3 is even more common because it starts before the water is even on with a routine shower step almost everyone treats like an afterthought. Number 3, stepping into the shower before checking the floor and letting a small slip start the whole disaster. This one starts before the water even turns on. It starts with that ordinary, automatic step people take every day without thinking. You walk into the bathroom, you're thinking about your day, you step into the shower, and you assume the floor is fine because it was fine yesterday. That assumption is the habit, because shower floors don't need to look dangerous to be dangerous. A thin film of soap, shampoo residue, conditioner, body wash, a smooth tub surface, a bath mat that has shifted, a little water left over from the last shower. Any one of those can turn the first step into a slide. And the first step is where people are most exposed. You're not settled yet. You don't have stable footing. You may be turning to close a door, reaching for the curtain, or stepping over the tub edge with your weight moving forward. Your body is in transition, and transition is where balance fails fastest. This is why the fall often feels so sudden. It's not a dramatic skid across the room. It's 1 foot landing, slipping just enough, and your body trying to correct itself while the other foot is still mid-step. That half second is all it takes. You're off balance before your brain has even finished registering what happened. And in a shower, the first thing people do is usually the thing that makes it worse. They panic reach. They grab the curtain. They grab the shower door edge. They grab the soap shelf. They twist their body while their feet are still sliding. They try to save it upright instead of lowering down. That panic reaction turns a near slip into a harder fall because now momentum gets involved. Caregivers and emergency responders see this pattern constantly. The person didn't do anything reckless. They simply stepped in, lost traction, and the bathroom did the rest. What makes this especially dangerous after 60 is how expensive a fall can become. A younger person might bruise and bounce back, but one shower slip can mean a fractured wrist from bracing, a shoulder injury from the twist, a hip fracture from a sideways landing, or a head strike on tile, tub edge, or fixture. And the head injury is the one people underestimate because sometimes the person gets up, feels embarrassed, and says they're fine until symptoms show up later. There's also a second trap in this habit: familiarity. People stop checking because they've showered in the same space for years. They know the layout, they know where the soap sits, they know where the towel hangs. That familiarity creates confidence, and confidence in a slippery space can be dangerous when conditions change by just a little. A different soap, a little extra conditioner, a mat that no longer grips like it used to, a damp floor from someone else using the bathroom first. Small changes, same routine, bigger risk. So the survival rule for number 3 is simple. Make the first step deliberate. Before you step in, look down. Check the surface. If there's soap residue, rinse it. If the mat has shifted, reset it. If the floor is slick, don't assume your feet will figure it out. Give yourself traction on purpose before you transfer your weight. And when you step in, don't rush the first 2 movements. Put one hand on a stable support if you have one. Plant the foot, then move the rest of your body. The goal is to remove surprise from the moment where most slips begin. There's also one habit that prevents a lot of repeat falls. Treat shower floors like they need maintenance, not just rinsing. Soap film builds slowly, and people don't notice it because they see the shower every day. But your feet notice it the second friction disappears. Because the deadliest shower falls don't always start with something went wrong in the middle of the shower. Sometimes they start with the very first step, taken on autopilot. And number 2 is worse in a quieter way, because it doesn't start with a slip at all. It starts with a habit people call privacy, right before it turns rescue into a race against time. Number 2, locking the bathroom door before a shower and turning a fall into a no-access emergency. This one feels completely normal. You're about to shower, so you close the door and lock it. Privacy, dignity, routine. It doesn't feel like a habit, it feels like basic bathroom behavior. And most days, nothing happens. But when something does happen in a shower, that lock can turn a bad moment into a rescue problem. Because shower emergencies are rarely loud in the way people imagine. It's not always screaming, it's not always a clear cry for help. Sometimes it's a slip and a hard thud, sometimes it's a fainting episode, sometimes it's dizziness, a head strike, or a sudden weakness that leaves a person on the floor confused, stunned, or unable to stand. And from outside the door, that often sounds like nothing unusual. Water is running, the fan is on, the shower curtain is closed. If someone else is home, they assume privacy. They hesitate, they wait, they knock once and think maybe you didn't hear, they knock again and assume you're just taking your time. That hesitation is human. It's also where the emergency gets a head start. This is the part most people never think about until it's too late. The lock doesn't just slow help down, it changes the entire situation. The second someone tries the handle and finds it locked, the question is no longer, "Are you okay?" It becomes, "How do we get in?" And in a real panic, people lose time fast. They search for a key that no one remembers. They try to figure out the coin slot release. They look for a pin, a screwdriver, anything that might open the lock. They call out again. They try the handle harder. They waste precious seconds assuming there must be an easy way in. Meanwhile, the person inside may be unconscious, bleeding, trapped in an awkward position, or too weak to answer. And showers make that worse because water is still running, surfaces are still wet, and the person may be lying in a position that affects breathing or keeps them from moving. A head injury can leave someone dazed and silent. A hip or shoulder injury can make even small movements impossible. If they hit their head and the bathroom stays quiet, no one outside the door knows how serious it is. There's another detail that turns this from stressful to dangerous very quickly. Many bathroom doors open inward, so even if someone unlocks the door, it may still not open if the person has collapsed near it. A leg, shoulder, or body can pin the door shut from the inside. Now the lock is no longer the only barrier, the person is. That's when people start forcing the door, slamming shoulders into it, trying to kick it in, or waiting for emergency responders while time keeps moving. Caregivers and responders see this pattern over and over. Not just an injury, but an injury plus delayed access. That's why this habit belongs so high on the list. Not because privacy is wrong, but because in a shower emergency, access is everything. A fast check can mean the difference between helping someone up and finding someone much worse minutes later. So the survival rule for number 2 is simple and practical. If you live alone, shower with the bathroom door closed but unlocked. If you live with others, make sure the bathroom lock can be opened quickly from the outside, and make sure someone in the home actually knows how to do it before there's an emergency. Don't wait until panic to learn your own lock. And if you're helping an older parent or relative stay safe, this is one of the easiest safety conversations to have. Privacy should never cost rescue time, because the deadliest shower habits aren't always the ones that cause the fall. Sometimes they're the ones that make sure help can't reach you when the fall happens. And number 1 is the habit people defend because it feels harmless, but it quietly builds the perfect setup for the kind of shower fall that changes everything in 1 second. Number 1, rushing to step out of the shower and turning 1 dizzy second into a life-changing fall. This is number 1 because it's the shower habit people don't even think of as a habit. They think the danger is inside the shower soap, water, slippery feet, but for a lot of serious injuries, the real danger happens at the exit, in that rushed moment when the water turns off and the body hasn't caught up yet. It starts the same way almost every time. The shower is over, you're warm, relaxed, maybe your joints feel better. You turn off the water and immediately switch into move mode. Reach for the towel, step out quickly, bend for the bath mat. Twist toward the sink, start drying off while walking. Everything feels normal until it doesn't, because heat and steam change how your body behaves. Warm water opens blood vessels and can lower blood pressure while you're standing there. Most of the time, your body compensates. But after 60, that adjustment can be slower, especially if you're dehydrated, haven't eaten, are tired, are sick, or take blood pressure medication. That means the moment you stop the water and start moving fast, your body can lag behind the movement, and that lag is where the fall begins. Caregivers and emergency responders see this exact pattern constantly. They were fine in the shower, and then they got out and went down. It often starts with a warning that people ignore because they're focused on getting dry. A head rush, a quick sweat, vision narrowing, ears ringing, that strange hollow feeling in the stomach like your legs are suddenly not fully yours. People feel it and still take one more step. That one step is the trap. The sink. And now you're lightheaded, the sink. And now you're lightheaded, turning, reaching, and moving on a surface that gives you no forgiveness. This is where near falls become real falls. People try to catch themselves on a towel rack. They grab the curtain. They twist hard at the waist while their feet are sliding. They panic and speed up instead of slowing down. And once momentum takes over, the bathroom finishes the job. Tile, tub edge, toilet, sink, metal fixtures, hard corners. A fall here doesn't need height to be devastating. A sideways hit can fracture a hip. A backward fall can cause a head injury that looks not too bad until symptoms build later. A wrist can break trying to brace. A shoulder can tear in the grab and twist. And if the person lives alone, even a survivable fall becomes more dangerous because help is delayed behind a closed door in a room where people assume privacy. What makes this number one is how innocent it feels. People don't say, "I rushed out of the shower." They say, "I was just getting out." That's the problem. Just getting out is where people stop respecting the risk. So the survival rule for number one is simple, and it works because it breaks the chain early. Treat the exit like it's still part of the shower. When you turn the water off, pause. One hand on a stable surface. Take 2 slow breaths. Let your body catch up before you step, bend, or twist. Then step out slowly and deliberately. Don't multitask the exit. Don't reach for the towel while moving. Don't bend for the mat mid-step. Get stable first, then dry off. And here's the trigger that matters most. If you feel even a small dizzy wave vision, tightening, ears ringing, sudden weakness, sit down immediately. Not after one more step, immediately. On a shower seat, the toilet lid, the edge of the tub if safe, or even the floor. The floor is where you can't fall because the deadliest shower habit isn't the one that looks reckless. It's the rushed, normal exit people have done for years. Right before 1 second of dizziness turns the bathroom into a room they never walk out of the same way. Before you go, pick one shower habit from this list and change it today, not tomorrow, today. The bathroom is too unforgiving for I'll be more careful next time. Now I want to hear from you. Which habit is most common in your home hot water too high? Using towel racks as support, not checking the shower floor, locking the door, or rushing the exit. And if you've ever had a close call in the shower, what happened? If this helped, like the video and subscribe for more everyday danger breakdowns. See you in the next one.